Hi, I'm Emily. Welcome to episode 22 of Holding the Sticks, a hockey themed fiber arts podcast. Hi, everyone, and welcome to my front porch here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. Today is May 27th, 2013. It's a Monday, and today is Memorial Day here in the United States. This is a day where we remember those who have fought and died in battle for our freedom, and also we think about those who are currently serving in our military and honor all veterans. So I hope everybody is able to do that today, and I hope everybody is enjoying their day off. I have been blessed with a beautiful one here. It is just absolutely perfect out here temperature wise. I hope that you're able to see all right. I know the sun is pretty harsh on me right here, so I hope that the contrast isn't too much. It's hard for me to see the screen out here in the sunlight, so anyway, we'll just get into it and hope for the best, shall we? As always, I like to thank everybody for watching, and also I like to thank those who have interacted with me on social media and in the Ravelry group. You can find me, like I said, my name is Emily, and you can find me on Ravelry as Shanti Dragon, and on Plurk and Twitter and the Days app as Emily3022. I hope to see you there. All right. This week I have some knitting projects to show you, a couple of finished projects, one knitting and one spinning. I have a little bit of fitness to talk with you about, just a tiny bit of hockey talk, and a little bit of post-game chatter. My husband surprised me this morning by staying home instead of going into work, so this will probably be a shorter episode just so I can get back to spending a little more time with him. And also the sun is coming down on me here, and I'm going to wind up with a little sunburn if I'm not careful. So let's get right on into the first period. Okay, let's get right into the zone here and hope that my little jerry-rigged light blocking device, aka umbrella, will work well here and not fall over and cause a ruckus. Anyway, I have a couple of works in progress, a little bit of developing play going on here. Let's see what we have in my little magic basket. All right, I showed this last time. I am making the Ito shawl, and it's by Kitman Figueroa. It will look like this when it's finished. There we go. If that doesn't show up right, I will put in a picture, but hopefully that's showing up fine. I'm making this for my mom, and this is a pattern that was given to me by Marlisha, or Lady Furnico on Ravelry. She and her daughter Talia host the Pen Hook and Needles podcast. And this is what I have so far. This is very brightly colored, and of course I'm in the middle of a row. So I'll just show you a little bit here. Oh, the lace is showing up really nice. Hopefully you can see those colors okay too. So I'm going to finish knitting with that, and then the solid color part will be in a turquoise blue like this. So there is the Ito shawl. If you hear any noise, the neighbor's dog Mally is down here looking up at me very mournfully and saying, "Why are you up there talking to yourself?" She's such a sweet girl. She's a golden retriever. Hush, Mally. Okay, here's one project. Next thing I have on my needles is also for Mom, and it is a chemo cap for her. This is made with a bamboo nylon blend yarn. If I can get it to straighten out for me here. Well, you can get the general idea. Just a simple rolled brim, very lightweight cap. It's made with the Wendy Happy yarn that I made those recent socks with. So this is not a pattern available on Ravelry. I am just making this up as I go along, using a size 3 US needle, and just going to knit some stockinette for a bunch of inches, and then I'll do decreases, and hopefully it'll be a little slouchy. Depends on how much yarn. This is how much yarn I have left. So those are my works in progress. And as for my finished projects, she shoots, she scores. I am wearing my finished projects. This is the adult sizes of the Spring Garden Tee by Alana Dacos. And I love how it turned out. You may have seen, if you follow me on Plurk, I posted asking for opinions on the neckline. And when I first finished it, it looked like this. And I wasn't sure if I was comfortable with that neckline or how it looked or anything like that. I thought it looked very elegant, but I just wasn't sure if I could pull it off. You know what I mean? So I asked if I should bring it up, and a lot of people said it looks like you'd be a lot more comfortable with a little more substance on the neckline. So I did about 2 rows of single crochet and decreasing a little bit with the second row to try and so it didn't like just kind of flop out on me. And let's see if I can stand up and show you what the rest of it looks like. There we go. So it goes down to just about my hip. And the only real detail on it is, besides the garter stitch hem, is this little lace pattern here on the sleeves. This was a super simple, fun knit. I really enjoyed it. As to needle size, I had trouble with my gauge, so I used various needle sizes, starting with the smallest needle up top and ending with a size 6 US needle to give the bottom a little more swing. I moved my waist decreases and increases up to right below the bust to give it an empire line, because that's where I am the skinniest. And I have a little bit of a belly and definitely have some hips, so that's why I did the larger needle at the bottom to give it more swing like that. So I'm super happy with it. I used Loops and Threads Snuggly Wuggly yarn to make this. So it's just an acrylic yarn, a baby yarn from Michaels, because I wasn't sure how it would turn out and if I would like the way it looked on me, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on something that was going to make me look bad. So I'm really happy with how it turned out, though. It's super soft, and I killed the acrylic a little bit. I ironed it just to give it a little more drape and everything, and I think it turned out really well. So super happy with that finished object. The second knitting finished object that I have is this pair of summer socks that I was working on last time. And sorry, it's got a little bit of, I haven't worn them yet, but they did get thrown in the laundry basket and they haven't been washed yet. I had to dig them out so I could show you guys. But here is one sock, and here's the other. This is the same yarn I'm making Mom's chemo cap with right now. The bamboo nylon blend Wendy Happy yarn. This is in the Taurus colorway, like the astrological sign. So far my sunshade is holding up. I hope it continues to. It'll be epically tragic if it falls, because it'll knock stuff over and probably poke me in the eye. I know. Shouldn't do such things. Okay, now for my spinning. If you all will remember, last week I told you I was going to spin some Highland Handmaids in the Chasing Dragons colorway. Well, I kind of got a wild hair and I decided to do a different colorway. I decided to go with the Classin' It Up colorway. This is a Corriedale Cross from Highland Handmaids. I forget the name of the base, but really pretty colorway. Sorry for bending out of screen there. Of course, you get to see the pretty scenery behind me better when I do that. 4 ounces here, and I did it. I spun most of it and try to get that barber pole effect. I just threw all caution to the wind. This is a very colorful colorway, and I originally didn't think I wanted to try barber poling it because there are so many colors, and that's why I wanted to do the Chasing Dragons colorway, because it was fewer colors, and I thought the barber pulling would look better. Well, I just threw all caution to the wind a few days ago, put it on the wheel, spun it up, did the fractal spinning, and this is how it turned out. I really hope those colors are coming out. I really can't see out here with this light. If it's not, I'll put pictures in. But I got about 220 yards. This is a 2-ply, and I'm assuming it's probably about a worsted weight, just judging from the yardage and all of that. So still slightly damp, especially where the ties are. Get that a little closer, let you see. And I had a little bit left over from plying of one bobbin, and I decided to do a Navajo ply with that. And this is what the Navajo ply turned out looking like. I love the way the Navajo ply turned out, but I also like how the 2-ply turned out, and my husband very strongly prefers how the barber pulled yarn turned out. So, you know, at first, when I first finished these, I thought, I'm never going to barber pull again because I love how this looks so much. But then, after time, this has really grown on me, this barber pulled. And it's like my husband said, you can't go and buy a commercial yarn that looks like this. So, I'm pretty happy with it. It's super soft. The fiber prep was wonderful. The dye job was wonderful. It didn't bleed at all when I soaked it. So super happy with that. So that is it for the first period as far as projects go. I do want to talk a little bit about the finish along. Now I started the April and May finish along. It's a craft along I'm doing in the Ravelry group. And any project started before April 15th, if you finish it before the end of May, then you're eligible. You have to post a photo in the Ravelry group of your finished project. That'll get you eligible to win a prize. My umbrella is trying to fly away. So the choice of prizes are, you can win one of these 2 sets of stitch markers. And the other choice is you can win a $5 or less Ravelry pattern. I have decided to extend the finish along till the end of June, just to give everybody a chance to get those long languishing projects done. They can be spinning projects, crochet projects, knitting projects, weaving projects, any kind of fiber arts that you want to do. So make sure you get those in at the Ravelry group. All the details are at the top of the thread, so definitely check that out. Getting a little breezy. Sorry, guys. Another reason I'm doing that is that after this knit along, I'm going to go to a quarterly knit along where every 3 months we'll do a knit along. Our knit alongs will last 3 months, and then I'll be able to offer better prices, I think. So this is just in preparation for that, because then we can start on the 3rd quarter for our next knit along, and I'll tell you more about that when we get closer to it. So, all right, let's get into some fitness talk here. Okay, welcome to my training room. It's the second period, and it's been another good fitness week for me. I only had to go on my stationary bike one time over the past week since I last talked to you. That is a wonderful thing in my book. I'm not a big fan of the stationary bike. The weather's gotten much nicer here. I have been able to run at least 3 or 4 times since I last talked to you. I am on week 3 of Couch to 5K. I've already run my first 5K last October, but I restarted the program in order to try and up my pace a bit. So my last run, I did really well. I ran a faster pace than I think I ever have before. So it seems to be working. We'll see as we go how that goes. If you see me looking around, there are various insects buzzing around. I'm keeping an eye on the stingy ones, making sure they're not going to come too close. So, got a yellow jacket over here. Don't like yellow jackets. Anyway, the other fitness thing I've done this week is I have danced some more with my husband. We did that last night, about 30 minutes of dancing. Here's a little picture of us. I also have some video. However, with the software that I have for video editing, I'm going to try and put some in, but I'm not sure because the music was so loud. I'm not sure that I want to do that to your ears because it will it won't be pretty. And I forgot to put the correct microphone on, so it's all garbledy sounding. If I could just get rid of the audio and put it in, with different music or whatever, I would do that. But unfortunately, the software that I use is free software and it doesn't have all those fancy settings. So I may be looking into other software for editing the podcast. If anybody has any suggestions, let me know. I'm willing to spend a little bit of money on that, $40 or less maybe. So let me know if you know of any. Other than that, I have just been watching my portion sizes and trying to eat more vegetables and still trying to eat more whole grains. So all that's going just fine. Um, I've decided to stop worrying so much about the scale and go about my life and do the healthy things and just trust that, I never got into this to get super skinny and I need to stop worrying about the number on the scale. So that's what I'm going to do. Um, if anything drastic happens as far as weight goes, I'll still weigh myself every week just to make sure I'm, kind of staying relatively stable. Just because of other health problems I have and everything. But unless something really dramatic happens, you're not going to hear me talk about weight at all anymore. So I hope nobody's disappointed about that. You're probably all like, yay! I don't want to hear about your weight anymore anyway. Anyway, let's get into the third period. Just a little bit of hockey talk. Time to drop the puck for the third period and a little bit of hockey talk. I'm not going to do a Hockey 101 today. Like I said, I'm trying to make this quick so I can get back to spending some time with my husband, who stayed home with me today. But I just want to do a quick overview of what's going on in the playoffs, the NHL playoffs. The Eastern Conference has been decided in this round. The Boston Bruins will be facing the Pittsburgh Penguins, excuse me. It'll be Bruins versus Penguins for the Eastern Conference Final. The Kings and Sharks are still duking it out and will play their game 7, I believe, tomorrow night. And whoever wins that game will advance. And the other Western teams are the Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks. And they will play tonight, I believe, and this will be their game 6, if I'm not mistaken. So we're not quite to the final countdown. I believe if Detroit wins this game, they will advance. But if Chicago wins, then they'll go to a game 7, and then that will decide who will play for the Western Conference title, and that will be round 3. Getting confused here. All this beautiful weather is going to my head. So, like I have said as the playoffs have progressed, this has been a wonderful playoffs. There's been some great hockey to watch. And if you are one of my viewers who is not a hockey fan but suffers through my hockey blather anyway, I highly recommend you check out a game or two. Check NBC. The NBC networks are what carries the Stanley Cup playoffs. There's at least a game or two every week on NBC itself. That's network television. You don't even have to have cable to get that. Other channels are NBC Sports Network. That's where the majority of games have been televised, and CNBC, which they haven't been having to use as much now that there are fewer teams involved in the playoffs as we eliminate and go along. So definitely check that out if you get a chance. Time for a little post-game chatter. We will start as always with a little 1-minute mom update. This coming Wednesday, that is 2 days from now, Mom will have her second to last chemo treatment. We're getting so close to being done with the chemo treatments. Yay! We're so excited, seriously. And then we'll have surgery and radiation to think about, but we're taking this one step at a time here. If you all will please continue to pray and send good thoughts and good mojo to my mom as chemo treatments go on and the time gets longer, it gets harder and harder to keep a positive outlook. And she is hanging on to that positive outlook as best she can, but it is hard, understandably hard. So keep praying and sending the good mojo, and hopefully these last two treatments won't be as rough as she fears they will be, as rough as we all fear they will be. But other than that, she's doing pretty good, and I'll be going down there next weekend, which means I likely won't do a podcast next weekend. This morning I woke up, as I mentioned earlier, and my husband was still in bed. And he surprised me by staying home. I had kind of guessed that he was doing that because he kept asking me questions about what I was doing today and suggesting that maybe we might like to go out to eat today. And I'm like, I think he's up to something because that kind of stuff doesn't typically happen on a work day for him. Monday is my usual day off. I'm always off on Mondays, so we did wake up this morning, and I thought, well, he wants to go out to eat. Let's go out for breakfast. So we did. We went to the little diner down the street, and it was very good. But I am now drinking a real cup of tea because what I get in a restaurant is never exactly what I want as far as tea goes. I'm such a tea snob. I had to come home and make my PG tips. So I'm drinking my first cup of PG tips of the day. They served Louisiana, I think, at the diner, and I don't think I've ever had Louisiana hot tea. I've had it iced before, and I think that's what it's really meant for, but they didn't know what to make of me asking for hot tea, I guess. Everybody wants breakfast or sweet tea, which is cold, iced tea. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to talk about. Seems like I had come up with something to tell you about that I really liked, but I can't remember what it was now. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up. I know it was super short this week, but I'm glad I got to spend a little time chattering to you guys, and hopefully I will hear some feedback and get a little bit of idea of what you all have been up to. I'd love to hear what you're working on and what you're up to this week. So definitely drop into the Ravelry group or see me on Plurk or Twitter. The Days app, that's what I wanted to tell you about. Mentioned that at the very beginning that I'm Emily3022 on the Days app. That's DAYS. It is unfortunately only for Apple products, so iPhone, iPad, those products. But what it is basically a photo diary. You have to take your photos from inside the app, and it just puts them in a little bit of collage that posts once a day, posts first thing the next morning. And I've really enjoyed it. Vicky, Dragonfly 7376, I think I got those numbers right, Vicky. I hope so. She hosts the Dragonfly Soars podcast. She actually told me about this app and I checked it out and I really enjoy it. And my family and friends on Facebook have really enjoyed it, just to see what I'm up to on a day-to-day basis. So go check out the Days app and friend me on there. The more the merrier, you know how it is. And that will be a lot of fun. I know Apple Blossom SF from the Apple Blossom and You podcast has joined up as well. So those are my only two friends right now on there. So I need more friends on the Days app. If you're an iPhone user, go join and then friend me. Okay, anyway, let's get my day started in here. It's so beautiful today. I don't know what we're going to get into, but it's time to get it started. So I'm going to have to say goodbye. But until next time, may all of your fiber arts projects and your favorite hockey teams stay out of the penalty box. Bye-bye.